Bang.
We're on.
We're on. Oh,
We're on.
oh my good God. Some things we do for the business.
Hello.
This one's for the business. It's a social experiment. Can we save 2 weeks of shit that's gone down for a Ratfood on the road?
It's the way that I went, I think it was how we were just talking about it and we were like, I think this is the longest we've not spoken ever.
It's so funny. It's all for context.
Genuinely
me being like,
ever.
I need a holiday, man. And then me being like, wait, I have so many things to tell you. Well, I gave you hi from London, by the way. The time is currently 9:26 a.m. Where are you, bitch?
and hi from south of the river, Melbourne town. It's 6-something p.m. On Zoom, it looks like I'm in a cavernous cave.
You do.
But on this camera, man, warm lighting supreme.
I have to admit, I saw an Insta story of yours. Guys, genuinely, Mel and I haven't spoken in 2 weeks. So this is more a catch up for us.
Literally just then we were like, this Ratfood, I was like, oh, do you want to do some planning? We were like, let's just literally have a catch up because we haven't chatted in weeks and that's the perfect Ratfood.
It's the perfect Ratfood. I have so many questions.
We're going to pretend like you guys aren't here. Hope that's okay.
That's what the rats want, apparently.
It's perfect. Perfect.
What I was going to say is
my girl coming from the chartreuse green bedroom of her horse girl boyfriend in London town.
Horse girl boyfriend is so correct. That is the gender
It's perfect.
exactly is. The other day you posted an Insta story and you used a few words that I went, I'm stealing that for the rest of my life. You have a way with words. When you were like, here in Sydney to like wean off my creaky narm bones. I was like, creaky narm bones?
Yes.
Great sentence.
The creaky narm bones.
The creaky narm bones.
The creaky narm bones is an absolute sensation, which is what happens when the girlies romanticize winter until they realize, oh no, it's actually 4 degrees and it's sometimes not that cute.
Are you in the depths now?
Absolute depths. Heaters on.
Oh my
creaky narm bones. Currently defrosting in front of the heater.
Perfect.
Life is good.
It's also Mel going,
Life
I'm just
is
going to
good.
let this Ratfood be probably about your holiday. And I'm like, I haven't even heard about how Mackenzie went. The second reading.
I know.
Where do we begin?
I know, but you've been the one overseas. I think we should start with you.
I don't even know where to start.
Well, then I can start. Mackenzie was fantastic.
Mackenzie was
this week,
yep.
guys. I was in. Yeah, it was amazing. I was in Sydney. Obviously, if you're a regular listener of the pod, you would know that Sam and I both were involved in the Melbourne reading of Mackenzie,
yep.
and Eve Blake very kindly asked me to also be in the Sydney one. So I flew up to do the Sydney. It was a little bit kookarucha crazy.
Yep.
The back-to-back shows of it all.
How many?
Because we did 2 in a row.
Oh.
2 in a row, but not like a couple hours apart. And I think that's when you do like a double show day in a musical.
Yep.
You know, you might do like a 1 p.m. and then a 7:30, and you've got like hours in between to rest, do your makeup, have a meal, maybe have a nap, and literally like regulate your body to start from scratch again. It was literally a 6 p.m. and an 8 p.m. And you know that script, like it's like lengthy and such, like a bit of a beast.
Here's my question.
And so we finished at 7:35 and then we were like, oh my God, time to go on again at 8, but start from page 1 with a whole new audience. It was kind of bonkers.
Here's my question, because usually the second show in a back-to-back is stronger, but would you say the first was? Did you run out of steam a little bit?
Yeah, it wasn't, I wouldn't say that one was like categorically stronger. I think definitely in the second show I felt a bit like, do you know what I felt like? I felt like a cartoon character. I felt like I needed toothpicks to hold my eyes open. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, that's perfect.
Because we'd also been rehearsing all day since like 11. So by that point it was like our 4th read of the script in a couple of hours.
And you've
I was
done
like,
it as
this
well.
Is kind of bonkers.
Yeah.
But no, it was fantastic. It was on at the Hayes, which is much kind of smaller and more intimate than Chapel, where we did the Melbourne reading. It's kind of like 100-seater versus, I think Chapel is like a 300 or 400-seater. So much more intimate, but just fantastic. So like fun and cool to see what worked in different ways at the Sydney reading and what got bigger laughs there and smaller laughs here. And like, I'm so anxious. I keep looking down at the like mic machine to make sure that it's still going.
You and me both, babe.
Mood. But no, it was fantastic. And I just like, I really love going up to Sydney. I have like my list of my little handful of people that every time I go up to Sydney, I have like a 4-hour hang with. I'm like, great, 4-hour sketch in my 4-hour hang with Hayden, my 4-hour hang with Tom, my 4-hour hang with Angus, and then I'll be off to back to Tullamarine.
Whose beanbag did you crash on, babe? Which bean made it?
The only Alex Stedman.
Alex Stedman, thank you so much for the beanbag.
Diva Pants. I think their grandma wanted me dead. They live with their grandma.
Now, Mel O'Brien, I reckon you're famously one or two ways with old folks, especially if you're staying at theirs. You either kill them with kindness and you're in, or they want you on the social guillotine. And I love both.
She actually wanted me dead. And I said to Alec, Alec very beautifully was like, you're probably going to feel like she wants you dead. Now, it's not personal. I think it's just like this, that, the other. And I was like, perfect. I'm not going to take it personally then. I think it was a touch of the social anxiety, but it was me being like, thank you so much, blah, 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 for having me. And blah. I was like, you'll hardly know I'm here. And, can I pop out and grab you a tea or a coffee? I'm about to go get lunch. And she's like, no, I'm good. And I was like,
perfect.
Perhaps I'll just take myself off the Balti Bridge instead.
A woman of few words.
But it was heaven. A woman of few words.
That's so
Oh, you know what else I've got to tell you? This is absolutely insane that you've literally been to Prima Vera Sound and I'm like, biggest update.
No.
I'm 4th in the world at Cooking Dash.
No.
Sam.
No, hold
Sam,
on.
it's absolutely gotten out of hand since you've been gone.
Stop the double-decker buses in London. Everyone halt. I think an ice cream truck just went past. Stop.
I have screenshots, pics on screen, or it didn't happen.
Where the fuck's the TikTok about this?
It was the way that I was about to go into detail to be like, there's this thing on Cooking Dash called the Trial of Style, where you...
Of course you're going to tell me about the Trial of Style, you knob. That's an English word, knob, because I'm in London.
You knob?
Wait, 4th in the world? Hold on.
I've absolutely climbed the ranks.
How many monthly players of Cooking Dash? What are the downloads saying?
Do you know what? It's information I'd love to know.
You'd love to scope out your competition, but there's no competition to you because you're a workhorse.
Competition. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm setting those paninis out left, right, and centre. Do you know what level I'm loving at the moment? K-pop kitchen. You make sushi, you make sticky rice, kimchi rice.
There you go.
Beautiful beef roll soup. Just gorgeous stuff. Gorgeous stuff. It's become a problem. I'm having dreams about Cooking Dash.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Go onto your phone and... Oh, no, you can't. We're recording videos.
I can't.
God, we're multifaceted women with multi-tools.
Stuff and things and things and stuff.
I was going to say...
Lots of tech.
What's your screen hours per day of Cooking Dash?
I fear to know.
Do you... Right.
But I've got Sarah on it now. So it's literally become our bedtime routine. We'll get into bed and we'll go clocking in. She'll go clocking in. We'll do a couple hours at the restaurant. Quick smooch. Off to sleep.
4th in the world at Cooking Dash.
It's absolutely life-changing.
Insane. And my little content noggin is going, you need to post a TikTok about that.
I know. Well, do you know what? I actually did think about it. I actually looked up. I tried to find their official Instagram page. They don't have one. They're humble queens.
No, they're humble queens because they're not. The people that want the app will find the app. They don't need promo.
They've made this life-changing app, this astonishing game, and they don't even need to yell about it.
Yeah.
Because the ones who know.
Yeah. Well, hold on. If you were to pitch this app on Shark Tank, what are the top 3 skills you think it's building you for? Genuinely.
Whoa. As in, what is it building me for by playing the game?
Yeah. Is it good for memory? What are the things that you're learning from Cooking Dash?
Thanks for asking that question. Can't wait to hear about Chapel Roan. Look for me. Look, absolutely. I think for me, what is it? Quick fingers, speedy digits.
Speedy digits.
Got to be really quick. I think I am getting a bit of carpal tunnel.
Yeah. Hold on. Because I'm also imagining...
I went to the doctor today, went to get a couple of things checked out, and I went, my fingers are hurting. I think it's a touch of carpy tons.
If I come back and you've got carpet tons, the gloves on. Because also, you think about the areas per square metre on a phone is not that big. And then when you're trying to put a grain of rice into one sushi roll on a plate that exists within a minuscule of the cafe, that's mini fingers.
To be loved is to be seen. You understand? And it is hard, Sam. You know what else is really hard? In Metal Chef Italian Bowl, one of my favourites, favourite restaurants to play. It's where you make all Italian food. Thanks for asking. It is really hard to distinguish whether they are asking for marinara or Alfredo sauce.
Well, how can you tell?
Very similar.
Well,
it's in the colours, babe. It's in the colours.
And that really is
again, pasta, are they asking for wiener dog sausage or are they asking for prawn on their pasta? Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Sometimes it's hard to tell, but it's not a challenge for you because you're fourth in the world.
Because I'm fourth in the little world. You know what my username is?
What?
Yeehaw with lots of W's.
Yeehaw. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, what I actually think we should take every cent in our business account to is I want to fly you to a meeting point with the three people that are above you. And I want to do a live rat bag live cooking championship with your other competitors.
I have goosebumps at the thought of it.
And I know you're not joking.
Have goosebumps.
And I know you're not joking.
I've missed you so much.
I've missed you so much.
Can you please tell me and tell the rats about everything?
Okay. I will. I am obsessed with this cooking dash. It is really funny. I'm going to look it up and see if I can find your beautiful little yeehaw face on that scoreboard.
Yeah, have a look.
We'll post it on the grid, rats.
You'll be such a novice. It'll take you a while to climb the ranks to join the likes of yeehaw.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to climb the ranks, but I'd love to look as a punter, back a winner. Sure, I'd back you as a horse.
Have a glean at that leadership board.
100%. Yeehaw. Our perfect yeehaw. Where do I even begin? I am fully recovered now, as in I wasn't unwell, but festivals, as anyone would know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, are a lot. They take a lot out of your soul and body and energy. The festival is...
Sometimes you do eat a lot of gummy bears, man, and it really messes you around. Lots of potato chips in the tummy.
Yeah, it really fucks you up. No, so the festival is fully nocturnal, where it starts at like 10 p.m.
Yeah, I didn't realise that it's not like day fest.
So the first act is on around like 7, 8 p.m. and it goes till 5 a.m. in the morning. So I basically arrived in London, took a day to get over my jet lag, but then went to Barcelona and basically undid all of that and went kind of back to Melbourne time.
Sure.
But who cares about that? I would say Prima Vera overall was absolutely terrific. There are many tiers to Prima Vera.
Tell me.
So, fantastic for anyone that doesn't know, the top 3 headliners: night 1, Charlie XCX and Troye Sivan; night 2, Sabrina Carpenter; night 3, Chaperone. For me, a perfect order of them. Charlie XCX I was least excited for, but I was so fucking ready for. It was so busy. It was 80,000 people. And what I've heard...
I can't even in my head like think about how many people that is. What's that in relation to like the MCG?
MCG seats 100,000.
100,000.
But
holy
imagine
shit.
it...
Okay, so like 3/4 of that, or a bit more than 3/4
and
of that.
imagine it flat, looking at basically one stage. There were multiple stages, but for the headliners, you could assume around most people were coming to see them.
That's crazy. So were you quite far back, or did you like mosh town the Moshville?
Thank you so much for asking. I allowed the group I was with, we went with a bunch of mates, like a bunch of my close mates, and then an extended group that have gone years and years before that said come along, and they were like the ultimate ravers in the sense that they like had a hand.
I love that they would have had experience as well.
They had like,
I love that.
We had a duck hand that we used to find each other, and there was like a few tall guys in the group, so you'd look out for the duck hand, and if you lost the duck hand, you were fucked. But we actually, no, I'm not going to talk about an app that we used to find each other. That's so boring. If we've got time and if time allows, I'll talk about this app. No, I'll talk about it now. Have you heard of the app?
Talk about it, girl.
Have you heard of the app 3 words or 1 3 words? What 3 words? No. It is life-changing for finding people where there's no phone reception or where there's too many people on their phones. What it basically does is it puts every single person on this grid, right? Imagine a whole bunch of tiles, and every single, like, I think it's up to a few meters, or maybe it's like 5 to 10 meters, is in a certain square. And if you move to the left, you move into another square. But each square has a name. So it'll generate 3 words. It might be like horse, apple, dog. And then you will message your friends and be like, we're at horse, apple, dog. Make sure you come back to horse, apple, dog. And then you use your compass. It uses your phone's compass to find your friends. So you follow the green, and if it tilts red, you keep following the green. And we would find each other with no phone reception because we would know, all right, we're coming back to horse, rabbit, dog or whatever it was. It was.
So what did the 3 words come from? So it's almost like a map coordinate,
yes,
right?
It's a map coordinate and
Like,
the words
like
don't change. So right now I'm in a certain position that's got a name that's generated from 3 words that if I came back, I'm assuming in a year, this would still be that location. But because of the combination of all these different words, it's perfect.
I'm shocked more people don't know about this. I feel like this would change festival going
I agree.
forever.
So if you are listening to this, download the app. Anyway, this is all to say. Charlie XCX night 1 was absolutely manic. It was, I was deep in the mosh, but I leant in and went, I'm just going to let the music take me.
Yeah.
It was true definition sweat tour. I know Sarah's seen sweat. It was Troye Sivan's 30th birthday, so he was smashed.
Oh.
It was pretty funny.
I love that.
Almost a little bit too much. Like, I'll do a rendition. This is genuinely what he was like. He's like, all right, Barcelona, I want to hear ya. And then like literally 3 seconds later, go, Barcelona, louder. It was really funny. Like he was smashed. And him and Charlie, I was like, all right, we understand that you've done coke before this show, but they really, like the 2 of them were like, hell yeah, like wiping their nose and like, you know, wobbling around.
Because am I right in saying is Barcelona is Prima Vera Sound?
Yep.
Like for artists, are artists like that is a once in a lifetime gig? Like for them, it's kind of the shit hot festival to play.
Well, Chapel Roan said that she came out of retirement to do Prima Vera because it's a huge milestone. I think.
Yeah,
it's like a Coachella.
Wild.
It's like a Coachella.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, Charlie was.
And how was it in the depths of the mosh? Were you like hell yeah, or were you like I feel mildly anxious, or how did you go?
Night 1 was. That's when we all as a group after night 1 we came back and did a house meeting and went that was probably too far for all of us. Let's scale it back. It's also because, and I'll explain it, and then I'm going to obviously talk about all the positives. It's just more interesting to unpack the things that maybe didn't go as well.
No, 100%.
With Charlie, we like went off to the bathrooms and then tried to find the rest of the group, and it got to the point where we were like not pushing through people, but trying to go back, and I just went, this is too busy. But then I went, no, I'm just going to lean in. I'm safe. I'm around a bunch of people. There were no crowd crushes. It was like, obviously, thank God. But Charlie was a bit too hectic. And then on night 1, I probably can't work with Prima Vera if I say this, but I don't really care because I'll probably use my own money. On night 1, we were fyre-festivaled.
No.
Yeah. On night 1, it was really bad. So you go in.
Why is this such a phenomenon? Why so many
festivals?
festivals?
I've heard that Prima Vera is only gaining more and more popularity. So more and more people are they're allowing more people to come. And I just don't think they're bumping up their resources in the way that it was when it existed years and years ago. They're not getting more bar staff. So we were dancing. You can't bring in bottles. Fair enough. You can't bring in empty bottles because people throw bottle caps. I'm like, oh, get a life. I think that's so shit that we can't bring in empty water bottles because people throw bottle caps.
For like water, right?
Have to pay for water, which in Australia, we forget how lucky we are that we have free drinking water basically wherever we go. It's illegal.
Yeah, that feels like deeply OH&S not correct.
Oh, just you wait. So you can only buy these little bottles of water that were like basically $5 to $8 Australian dollars, which is insane. So everyone, and they would fill them up in these cups. So everyone's got tumblers. The set goes for 3 hours. So Charlie's on for 3 hours with Troye. It ends.
Holy shit, that's long.
It's a long set.
Well, for one set to go. Yeah.
Neve goes, all right, is this like wrapping up anytime soon? I'm like, this is on until 3 a.m. And Neve's like, what?
Wow.
So then the set ends. And then 80,000 people
all trying to get out.
Try to go to the bars surrounding the main stage. Because there's other stages down there.
To get water?
Was
Was that the main
to get water. And then everyone at the bar is like, we're closed. Because they're trying to move people on to go to the other space. So it meant there were 80,000 people that we genuinely went to 4 spots to try and get water. We passed a drink fountain. There was a line of 150 people for one drink fountain. People were falling over and like passing out. It was so
unsafe.
It was so unsafe on night 1.
And water just shouldn't be that hard to get
We couldn't
anywhere, but at a festival where people are like doing all sorts of things.
Yep.
Oh my god!
It was just, and like it was insane. I was like, how do you have people with backpacks on selling beer with these like light up signs, and they're not selling water bottles? But anyway,
no water.
Night 2 and 3,
and then it was a hectic like mass exodus as well.
Trying to leave it was crazy because everyone was so sweaty. It was so hot. This is why people pass out and die at festivals. I was like, how have you not thought about this? Eventually we made it to the other bars, and like it was all hands on deck. People were just buying like 5 bottles of water and then bringing them to their friends, and we were all just
everyone.
But it felt like when I was in the line for the drink fountain, as a few of my mates went off to try and find water bottles, I was like standing there and everyone just looked so bleak. I was like, this is so bad. Anyway, Charlie XCX was epic. She was like, I've had this really interesting thought. I feel like I saw 3 women in very interesting stages of their career, all at the same level of fame and notoriety, but they've all got such different experience. And you can just tell that Charlie XCX knows how to be on stage, knows how to work a room, understands everything that surrounds touring and festivals and performance and creating a vibe. Yeah. She was just so terrific live.
Oh, that's so great.
Sabrina Carpenter was incredibly
How'd you go? Safe to say your one you were looking forward to the most, if I know my girl?
I was looking forward to seeing the whole spectacle of Sabrina Carpenter the most, but I was ready to listen to Chapel and just let it wash over me. And I think what I got, Sabrina's was exactly perfect, polished, Disney sparkly set, like the whole theatrics. She's such a theatre girl. Yeah. There was so many prop gags. I was also deep in the front for all 3 of them. Fun. I actually nailed it. I just nailed it.
That's so impressive, Sammy. I don't think I would be able to do that.
No, it was hectic. I also didn't realize this about music festivals. People were sitting down during the set before her because they were trying to save their spots. But it meant that poor fans of the artist that was on before her couldn't stand at the front and had to stand rows and rows and rows back because people were sitting down waiting for Sabrina. I didn't realize that's a thing that happens. I've never
really even seen that before.
I've never seen it in Australia, but apparently it's a thing. You sit down and wait for your artist. So that was I felt bad for other fans. Anyway. Sabrina did her first ever performance of Man-Child, which, have you heard the song?
Of course. Yes,
I love it. I think it's a great song.
I love it too.
Yeah. Her and Jack Antonoff, right? I think who produces with her. She just fucking...
pretty sure.
She nailed it. It was sparkly. It was gorgeous. She's got such a perfectly manicured yet laid back performance style that almost feels like a character, even though it is real. But it's her being like, hola. Am I saying that right? Is that how I say that? How do you say it? Wait, what? Wait, I can't hear you. What? She was just so adorable and cheeky. And then
she gives, I was going to say cheeky. She gives such cheeky,
sparkly. It was perfection.
Performance energy.
FKA Twigs, another great highlight. She was such an artist. She's so fit. She did pole dancing. She would sing, then dance. Sing, then dance. And she had 4 wig changes on stage. One of her backup dancers came and just put this long caramel blonde wig on her, and she just kept singing, "Did I not do it for you?" And I was like, holy fuck. I would say I missed quite a few acts because we were just traveling as a group. And traveling as a group, if one person goes to the bathroom, we all go to the bathroom. If one person wants a kebab, we all get a kebab. But I kind of lent in because I was so physically exhausted by the end. Chapel Roan.
Yeah. Tell me about Chapel.
Chapel Roan was... her set was incredibly gothic and witchy. It felt like this oopy spoopy castle. It started with this huge rock intro. Her whole band were female non-binary, of course. They were young and just
I love that.
Exciting. Chapel Roan was so brilliantly terrific as an artist. Hearing her songs, hearing the songs that she wrote, you can tell that she is performing. She cried on stage when she did Coffee, and me and Neve just holding each other. I was also in and amongst the perfect mosh of people. They were all girls that were like, can you see? Does anyone need water? Does anyone want a gummy bear? I was like, the girls.
It goes back, my theory about moshes reflecting artists so hectically. Like,
it was
so
absolutely
much.
perfect.
Yeah.
Chapel Roan.
How were Chapel's vocals? Were they out of this world?
So, once again, sound was interesting. I have a feeling sound was weird maybe because of where I was standing. You couldn't hear, her band was louder than her. What I respected about her set is she went, no, I'm having no vocal doubles. It's just me live. But it meant that everything we're used to in recordings wasn't really there as like the vocal line. So it felt really raw. It felt really top heavy and bottom heavy. And I was like, where's the mid? But obviously to everyone listening, this is all with the caveat of like, this is fucking Chapel Roan in Barcelona. It was a terrific set. The one thing that was interesting about her, and it's
sorry to cut you off, did she also perform for like 3 hours?
No, she didn't.
Because also that's a hectic vocal load as well for these singers.
She did like an hour and a bit, same as Sabrina.
Yeah, right.
Charlie's was 3 because of Troy. They kind of split it between each other.
Gotcha. Sorry, I cut you off. No. You were saying
Chapel Roan was really interesting. I think I actually bring it up as a talking point because I'd love to unpack it with you. I think she is so fascinating as an artist because she's like pop, but she's not. She's like kind of alternative pop if you think about like true pop. She just doesn't really have an interest in having an onstage persona that's like warm. And I found it really interesting throughout her performance. Maybe comparing it to someone like Sabrina or Charlie where there was a lot of how are you going Prima Vera? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Like, I find those moments between songs so golden for an artist to show who they are. And I'm not saying that they have to be all happy-go-lucky, jokes aplenty, but I found it really interesting that it basically felt like a song cycle. She got up, she would sing a song, the next song would roll in, and then it was maybe like you're going to know this one, next song. And I was like, I wonder if that's
like
from,
not heaps of connecting with the audience.
And I wonder if it's from, because she's still so incredibly green, like she's been shot into the stratosphere of fame. It was interesting watching someone like Charlie where I was like, this girl's gigged for a long time and knows how to work the room. But maybe Chapel Roan just didn't have as much of an interest in us getting to know her. I feel like the set ended.
Yeah, it's so
and I was like, I get you through your music, and maybe that's all they need to do is actually it's through the music you get to know them. But she really didn't care about having a persona on stage.
It's interesting to think about whether it's that because she's not good at it or because she actively doesn't care about it or doesn't want it.
Yeah, and I'm going to actually guess that it's the second. But I mean, her vocals were sublime, and I really have to give it to her. Maybe she would listen to, because she listens to Rat Bag. She'd listen to Rat Bag and go, what do you mean you didn't get to know me? Like, I left my heart on the stage. I was crying. Like, maybe that's her version. But I think because I'd had 2 nights set up of pop princess stardom, like, here's my personality. Thank you for being here at this moment in my career.
It stood out as different.
It was just different. And I had a few mates that found her set a little bit underwhelming, but they weren't as much of a fan. Whereas every single song she played, I was like, this one.
It was
she was so terrific. It was just a brilliant festival.
So jealous. It's the trio. It's the trio 3 nights in a row.
It was insane. And God, I was exhausted.
Oh wait, here's a good question.
Please.
If you could have one, if there was a 4th night of Prima Vera and there could be a 4th to make it the perfect like quad tuplet, who would that artist be?
You know my answer.
Wait, let me see if I know.
You know my answer.
I do?
Yeah. I'll probably say it and you'll go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm blanking.
Ariana.
Go.
Ariana Grande.
Oh my God, of course.
Yeah.
Oh my God, of course. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of your ideal Prima Vera like pop lineup. If you would, Chapel would be one of them for sure.
Chapel would be there for sure.
Ellery Ward. Mel's life-changing cooking dash. Prima Vera
singing Alfie just on loop.
Liza Minnelli.
I definitely don't have like it would obviously be ba and ba. Like I don't, because as you know, I'm less of a like girl.
But Chapel would absolutely be one of yours.
And that trio is like I do love Sabrina's music and I do love Charlie's music.
Yeah.
A lot.
How do you feel about the album cover? Sabrina's album cover.
I was gonna say we're gonna go there.
Yeah, we're gonna and that basically that's my holiday. I've been to Croatia. I went swimming in the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, tell me really quickly what's been going on in Croatia.
Croatia was beautiful. You're like my mum being like, no, Sammy's gonna talk. It's her time to talk about her holiday now, family.
Tell me.
Went swimming in the Blue Lagoon in Croatia. Went on a boat tour. It was life changing. I sat at the back of that speedboat with 3 wicked sister millennial women from America. And I went, this boat's not going down. These 3 are fucking legends. They were the most like, and how did you 2 meet? Wait, so if you're from London and you're from Australia, how does that work? And I'm like, girls.
Sweet.
And they had the
Have you loved being on holiday with Nevie as well?
Gorgeorama. It's been gorgeorama. We
everything you've wanted it to be.
Yes.
Do you feel like relaxed and and like have you felt? I love when I go on a holiday and I have that feeling of like I will never forget it. One time I was on a holiday and I was in a pool and I feel like I could feel.
Yep.
I felt like I could feel. Sorry, I felt like I could literally feel physical stress and anxiety departing my body, like going on a journey through my body and like going out of my fingertips and being like,
I feel
like
it.
I've needed this so badly.
Probably too much to the point where I'm actually being useless when it comes to like, we'll get to the tube and Neve's like, all right. And I'm like, what platform? What train?
Yeah.
What time?
You're like,
what's the conversion of that?
Brain off.
Like I'm literally turned everything up to the point where Neve's like, cool, I'm not carrying you.
How are you going to get there?
I'm not carrying you to Bond Street. And I'm like, huh? I've been living which is what we did in London last year. Ignorance is bliss with the conversion rate. It's me going, 17 euros, 17 pounds for this. Conversion's
what
like
an absolute
$40.
Steal.
Holy fuck. It's so cute. Neve and I bought I Love My Girlfriend tourist t-shirts in Barcelona. And then it was so funny. Neve wore it for the flight to Split in Croatia and then went, I'm already embarrassed. This was fun when we bought it, but now I literally am just wearing it on this EasyJet
If that
flight.
isn't like every souvenir, I feel like everything you ever buy in the moment being like, and I'll definitely use that hand-woven fridge magnet tea towel with a photo of
it's me.
Monet on it.
You'd be so proud of me. The amount of seashell necklaces I nearly bought myself and then went, it's creaky Nam winter. Don't be buying a seashell.
Creaky bone Nam.
Creaky bone Nam. No, I haven't been shopping too much, even though I do love a shop. But no, the holiday's just been gorgeous. Split, Croatia is a beautiful holiday destination if you haven't heard of it. It's a bit like less traveled to in Croatia, but it's fucking epic.
I love that. I love to go on a holiday to places that are lesser traveled.
Yeah,
you know?
and really nice to see Spain. Really nice to see Barcelona. I mean, my dad
connect with your people, babe.
Connect with my people. My dad's 30% Spanish.
Yeah.
Hola. We've had a few people be like to me and Neve, they're like, "Are you 2 sisters?" And we're like, no, I'm
sorry, you look nothing alike.
I'm just a narcissist and would fuck myself at any given moment, and she's pretty close. So funny. What was I going to say? No, final thing. Oh, the Sabrina album cover. The Sabrina album cover.
I'm flip-flopping like a flip-flopping Freddy that's been flip-flopping since the beginning of time.
Yeah, I agree.
I understand. I think my stance is that I understand kind of everyone's points on all sides, and that's not to be a fence sitter, but that's to be. I'm more bothered by the Fletcher of it all. Are you across Fletcher?
Is this someone who's come out as straight now and everyone's being biphobic?
Yes, the lesbian pop princess. Because
this has happened a few times now, no? With Jojo Siwa, with Fletcher.
This is what everyone's talking about. Yeah, everyone's kind of talking about these 3 as what do people say? Signs of signs of a recession, signs of regression and recession, and it was the and we have to clock this is it's not about being bi. You know what I mean? People who are you're fucked for having a go at Fletcher. She's allowed to be bi. It's no, totally. She's allowed to be bi. But for those of you who don't know, Fletcher came out in Pride Month, no less, which I'm maybe your timing could have been better, Queen. Yeah. And released this song. I'm pretty sure it's called Boyfriend or Boy.
Yeah.
And she's been known to be a lesbian for a long time. Let it be known on this pod, sexuality is fluid. You can be whatever the fuck you want to be. But then went and deleted every bit of sapphic or queer content from her Instagram.
No.
That's what people are really like unpacking and being like, oh no, this is really clearly like, everyone was saying as well, like the music video felt very like, you know, the like growth of this like trad wife content at the moment that's very like, and I exist to like do this for my husband and blah, blah, blah. Yep. And you can do that if that's what you want to do. Yep. However, it was the like overwhelming sense of like, whoa, there's been this like flip switched and this button pushed and this literal deletion of literal pride in queer identity.
Yeah, well, that's such a trigger point for people because it almost brings back that feeling that people would get in their chest of like when you kiss someone back when you're in high school and they're like, actually, no, just kidding. Ew, I'm not fucking gay. It brings up that same feeling of shame for people that it is layered and that totally is nuanced.
And I think with Sabrina, I've it's almost like every video I see her go, no, wait, they're right, I agree with that. And then I go, wait, they're right, I agree with that. I think my overall is like, I think it is kind of sex shamey and slut shamey.
Yep.
People who have a problem with it. Yep. However, because I'm like, well, she has agency and has made the choices to be in this position. And it's kind of giving the message that no one who's likes to be submissive in the bedroom can have agency over their body or can be a feminist.
I would agree with that.
I don't agree with that. And as in, I know you're saying,
I agree with you, that. Yes.
And I'm like, well, y'all were okay with it when you were screaming out, do a different sex position for like every new city in Juno. And you were okay with it when it was, you know, when it was kind of this palatable level. But as soon as it's like, no, like actually pulling my hair. And also at the end of the day, I'm like, it's subversive. It obviously is not her being like, I think women should be pets to men.
No.
It's, and I'm also like, all you need to do is look at the lyrics of any of her music. Like you can't just look at this album cover like in a vacuum, which I think a lot of people are doing. I'm like, sure, if you saw this as a thing that was like on its own, I can see the critique and I totally understand where it's coming from.
Yep.
But then I'm like, but look at her as an artist and everything she's doing. I'm like, she is like, I saw it. Did you see Bianca Ismailowski's reel about it? Shout out, Bianca.
I saw the start of it. Yes. Yeah.
She was talking about how she's like, you know, no one had a problem with like talking about like, is it feminist? Is it not feminist? With like her music that was like, is it Taste? Where it's like, talking about like, you'll taste me when she's kissing you and all that stuff. It's like pitting women against each other. Like no one had a problem with that. That's what makes me feel like it is kink shamey and sex shamey because it's like, well, no one had a problem with that or no one's had a problem with this, all these other things. But all of a sudden her taking agency going, for the photo shoot, I want to do this and I want to do this because it feels like she's been forced into this corner where sex sells. That's what people do to her when they scream out, do one on your knees in Juno.
Yeah.
That I'm like, kind of what do you expect a girl to do? And also have maybe half of brain cell and realize that it is subversive, but maybe on the other end, on the other side of that, it's like if that many people aren't understanding that it's that's what it is, then maybe it does need to be clearer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've waxed lyrical. Sorry for taking the literal soapbox.
No. I think everything you've said is great. I have nothing major to add other than like it's interesting to think about the team around her. They're an incredibly smart team. She's got a smart team that are like, whether it's her or her team going, let's do something a little bit shocking. This feels like the smartest natural next step for her. Like you said, with the Juno positions, like with her like sexy persona that she has, which I think people get confused.
Sex is a part of her thing.
But people get confused by it because it's this sexy persona wrapped up in blonde, bombshell, petite, Polly Pocket. Like it's hard. Sometimes it feels like people can't see multiple things at once, and because of the Disney thing, people freak out. And she's just let's obviously not beat around the bush here. Female artists, people just decide one moment, they go, all right, you're too famous now, we have to find a reason to cancel you. And I think 100%. People just wanted 100%. To find a reason to hate it. I've seen some TikTok theories as well that, you know, we're going to see the literal zoom out and the album cover is going to be her
I saw that too.
In drag holding
pulling
herself.
her own hair.
I mean, that would be very interesting and cool.
That would be so sick.
Yeah. I hate
And I'm also like, at the same time, I'm like, it's okay also if it's a man. Like, I don't know.
I know. And hey, if all the lesbian
I'm very
artists,
like open. I'm very, oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, if all the lesbian artists are dropping like flies, at least we've got Renee Rapp. She's not going anywhere any day.
Leave her alone, bitch. She wants to have fun. Guys, thank you also, side note, for all the love on that episode.
Yeah.
There were so many messages and comments coming through being like, this was one of my favourite Ratfoods yet. And we felt it as well in the studio when we did that episode. We were like, I think that was one of our best Ratfoods yet.
It felt like a slam dunk because I was like, our audience loves Renee Rapp. We're actually saying interesting things about it. Hell yeah.
Chucking a threesome story in an Anne of Green Gave was lookalike competition. Bob's your uncle.
And had a call with my dad the other day and he went, now, Sammy, I need you to know that when you said dad switch off, I did, because you should be able to have that distinction between work and personal life. And I went, I fucking love you.
He's perfect.
He's perfect.
He's the perfect man.
He's absolutely perfect. So good.
Is it time to wrap up? How long have we been doing this for? Yeah, just about.
Nino.
Babe.
Sad alert.
Please let us, I would love to hear other people's takes on the Sabrina Carpenter of it all in the comments. I'm very like, my mind is very open to be being changed. Like obviously I've been chatting about it a lot with my friends as well because it's so in the zeitgeist currently. But yeah, part of me is a bit like, God forbid a girl wants her hair pulled from time to time and is proud of it.
I agree. And I just go, my openness and like, yeah, you do what you want, girl, is so much higher for women than it is for men with bold, shocking takes. Like the amount of people that don't bat an eyelid with Andrew, not that she's on the same level, but Andrew Tate, Joe Rogan bullshit. I'm like, this isn't even that bold. In the world of boundary pushing, I'm like, you go, girl.
I'm also like, just tell me you've never heard of what a power bottom is. Yeah. Without telling me you don't know what a power bottom is. I'm like, she's making the calls, babe. Just because she's getting her hair pulled, she's she's making the calls.
And I think people just don't like that she is this kind of, she is feminism for this, not to dismiss them at all, because I think Gen Z and Gen Alpha, crazy, are incredibly intelligent and switched on. But she is the new wave of feminism in this wrapped up little like sweetener bow for this younger generation. Yeah. And so I think people that are older than us, I've seen a lot more discourse of people that are older than us being like, oh, this pop princess, how foul is this cover? And I'm like, I don't think so. Yeah. It's just come at a terrible time with the whole Bonnie Blue petting zoo and the other thing. Like it just feels like, unfortunately, it's become the trifecta, even though it probably wasn't meant to be part of that bigger plan.
Totally.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, it's the classic, like in a vacuum, it's one thing, and then in context with everything that's going on at the moment, it can kind of feel like another thing, which maybe that's fair, maybe it isn't on her. Who knows? Wow. Please let us know. Yeah, your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read the discourse.
Yeah, 100%.
If you have any further thoughts as you're listening to this, let us know.
And finally, I'll be reunited with my wife literally next week for Sydney Pride. Hell yeah.
So I actually can't wait for that.
I can't wait too, babe. It's going to be
really excited.
Come along, Platonic Human Centipede. I'm so excited to get my performing boots back on with my actual wife. How many shows are we doing, Mel? My producer of my five shows, five chances to see it. Bring your mates. If you've never taken a chance on one of our shows before, come along to this one. It's our strongest because it's the most recent show that we've written, and I hope we're the best writers with this one.
And it's also the one that we're about to take to Edinburgh. So come see the show that's about to be a fucking international hit, man.
Hell yeah. My bank account has never looked sadder transferring all this money for Edinburgh. We don't do it to make money, guys.
$3,000 for accommodation.
We do it.
$4,000 for flights. $4,000 for flyers.
And for what? For
May
two people.
May be ever inaccessible.
For two people in Scotland to go, I loved it. And then for the Scotsman to give us 3 stars. Ayo, ayo, ayo.
What's it all for?
What's it all about?
Oh, babe. Fucking miss you.
All right, well, we're going to give you, this is the real rat bag, and then the director's cut will be on an unlisted link where we just keep chin wagging for another 10
We're going to continue chatting and me going, okay, so actually, how was Prima Vera?
No, genuinely. And the pop princesses fucking slayed. It's just interesting to unpack, you know? The
100%
stage presence stuff. All right, bitches. I'm gonna.
All right, that's all.
Sign on out. Now we're gonna anxiously upload these files to a Google Drive, aren't we, babe?
Can't wait for the videos to be 3 pixels and for my sound to be like, and here we in the when you
guys.
Can you hear?
I also would like to just pose to the rats. I'm going to sponsor someone to come up on the cooking dash ranks and try and knock Mel O'Brien out of 4th place. I will sponsor you.
Don't you fucking dare.
Someone send me a DM. I will give you some of my cash. I will sponsor you, get you in some active wear and get you dashing your dash down.
And if anyone else plays this game, can you please let me know? I feel like me and Sarah are the only ones in the world who play it.
Is it?
God, our humble queen's not even an Instagram. I'm obsessed with it.
They don't need it. They don't need it.
All right, that's it.
Bye, rats.
I love you so much. Bye, rats. See you on Monday for another...
guest.
See you on Monday for an incredible guest episode.
They might be international. It's Chapel Roan. I'm kidding, it's not, but they're brilliant. All right. Bye, rats.
Bye, bitches.
Bye.
This is a Grouse House podcast.
Mel and Sam would like to acknowledge that this podcast was created and recorded on stolen land.
The original custodians of this land have had a rich history of storytelling for over 65,000 years, and we pay our respects to the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, whose land we are making rat bag on.
Treaties were never signed, sovereignty was never ceded, always was and always will be Aboriginal land.